Hi, I'm Jason. This is my son Samuel, and this is our treehouse. First thing when you're gonna build a treehouse is to figure out where's that thing gonna live and what kind of tree are you gonna use to support your treehouse. Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about the tree we chose?
So this tree is about 60 years old and it's a sugar maple. It's also in the perfect spot in our backyard, and it's also the perfect size around, and it's the perfect height.
We love that it was sort of nestled in the woods, still part of our property, but on the periphery, and it felt like it was this totally separate space. And there's something cool about the way we built the treehouse and the tree. What's that?
The tree sticking in and out of the treehouse at the same time.
So my daughter's favorite part of this whole thing is that you get a secret trap door to enter and leave from. Come on up, Samuel. Let's talk about the design of this thing. You know, we went through a couple of iterations on how it could look, all just kind of in our head, spitballing. We looked online. What did you want originally, Sam?
So originally I wanted like a military bunker up high in the trees, just like spray painting the sides camo or like throwing a camo net over the top.
Right, and I wanted something more like a crooked house, cute Victorian style, tiny little structure somewhere up in the trees. Where did we land, Sam?
So my sister and my mom's idea was to kind of have like a little cabin up in the woods. So we ended up going for that.
In terms of the build, we used heavy duty materials. It's 3/4 plywood on the floor. It's 2x6 and 2x12 for the girders and floor joists. We use traditional 2x4, 16 on center. We used 1/2-inch ply T111 on the siding. And I'll tell you what, that was probably the hardest part. I have to admit, my main man, Brad, who's behind camera right now, made it possible. Sam and I built almost the whole thing together by ourselves, but
the walls were super hard.
The walls were so hard. What was hard? It was heavy.
Yeah, it was super heavy, and then it's extremely hard to like lift them out of the windows.
So if you could see Brad right now, he's jacked. He helped us hold that material up, nail it. We're all sort of socially distanced on ladders with our masks on. But that made it totally possible. Sam, why don't we talk a little bit about the tree?
So we didn't want to cut off any of the limbs on this thing, so we just ended up cutting holes inside the treehouse so that the limbs could stick out. And also outside there's another limb that sticks right out, and we cut a hole for that.
Talk about your favorite feature right here.
So my favorite feature is the pulley. Originally, we used this pulley for hauling up supplies to build this, but eventually we just started using it for other stuff, like my sister's stuffies. So I really like the fact that we have the tree sticking out of the house and embedded in the floor.
Total time, what would you say it took us to build this thing?
Probably 5 weeks, but only 8 actual building days because there's school and stuff, and that took up a lot of time, so we weren't always able to build it.
Right, it was coronavirus time. We were doing spread thin with lots of stuff. We had the business Awaken Films we're working on.
Yeah.
What was your favorite time with me building this thing?
So I like all the nail guns. I find those really awesome.
The pass load nailers?
Yeah. Like we used them on all of this, and then also on the roof there was a air pressure one.
Right, that was a roofing nailer.
Yeah,
that's
roofing
right.
nailer. It wasn't as loud, but it also didn't feel as powerful. It was interesting.
Yeah, my favorite part was that you were really engaged in the whole process. You were here. Sometimes as a youngster, it's hard to stay focused. And when you were out here working with me, we were like a crew. We were a team working together, right?
Yeah.
We had some great memories. Samuel learned about miters. He learned about, we used a worm drive, skill saw worm drive.
Oh, yeah.
We used a DeWalt Sawzall. We used a miter saw. We used a lot of cool tools, heavy duty tools, and you got a good education there, right?
Yeah.
Between coronavirus, quarantine, and all the crazy stuff that's going on in our world, I have to say, building this project has been an incredible thing for our family, hasn't it, Sam?
Yeah, we've learned so much, like how to angle all the beams and everything, and now we can play up there whenever we want.
You remember our first time?
Yeah.
What did we do up there?
We ate dinner as a family, and that
So
was
cool.
really fun.
So from our family to yours, we encourage you, get outside, go build something cool.